6 months into 2022 and we have already witnessed a lot of amazing releases for mobile devices. Therefore, today we are going to take a look of the best new Android and iOS games of June 2022. Let's get into this. Started off today's list with one of the greatest releases of this year, Counterside. This is a fantasy collective RPG game that is purely made for anime fans. The story of the game takes place in the post-apocalypse where the administration failure led the corrupted objects to threat the existence of humanity. A group of few chosen ones, known as the Counters, fights against these corrupted objects to drive them back to dust. Your role here is to help the Counters make this impossible mission become a reality. Graphics wise, looks absolutely stunning. A lot of effort and details has been put on into the characters, which is something I really appreciate. Number 10. Cozy Islands. This is a relaxing build and craft game with exploration elements. You will dive into many adventures where you will travel to rebuild the village of your childhood. Your mission is to create a cozy island village from scratch on an empty plot overgrown with trees and stones. The game features stunning visuals, delightful and colorful environment. You will explore nearby mystery islands to help friendly villagers to settle down. I might be nitpicking, but I really dig how the world rotates when you move forward from one village to another. All in all, Cozy Islands is a peaceful and a charming game with no autopath play as you can explore freely. However though, the game is still in the early stages and there is no sounds or audio in the game. Moving on to number 9, we have Zero Based World. This is a 3D MMO survival sandbox game featuring beautiful low poly graphics. You will dive into a massive open world as you will be able to craft, build, explore various locations, make friends, and even raise dinosaurs as pets. This game was originally released on Steam back in 2020, but sadly it didn't really get the attention that it deserves. Nonetheless, Zero Based World is here for Android as an early access, so you might face some few glitches and FPS drops every now and then, but it is a promising game for mobile devices, so I highly recommend keeping a close eye on this one. Number 8. Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds. Netmarble's newest release finally went global, and all honestly, it's a bit disappointing. Ni no Kuni is a free-to-play open-world MMORPG with absolutely beautiful graphics and effects, but that's about it. The game is heavily carried by autoplay and auto combat, which really ruined my experience with the game. If you are simply in it for the story, you're free to explore the game and let it play by itself. Other than that, if you like to play the game on your own, I really won't recommend this one. Coming up next, we have Street of Rage 4. This is an iconic game series from the 90s and yet another amazing Steam-ported game to mobile devices. Street of Rage is a classic retro side-scrolling beat-em-up game with hand-drawn comics-inspired graphics and updated mechanics. The story of the game takes place where a new crime syndicate seems to have taken control of the street and corrupted the police. Your mission is to punch your way through the street and bring peace and order back to the street. I don't really need to talk much about this game rather than saying it's one of the greatest nostalgic beat-em-up game, and seeing it finally on Android and iOS is such a pleasant surprise. Coming up next, we have Otaku's Adventure. This is a unique anime-style adventure game that tells the story of an otaku who has been single since birth and craves to be loved. Hey, would you look at that, gamer? This game represents your life at its finest. Anyways, after you encounter 3 girls, your life will take an unexpected turn to go on a runaway adventure with your anime waifu. The game features more than 35 endings following 3 different paths. The game was originally released on Steam back in 2019 and finally found its way to Android and iOS. Number 5. Catalyx Black. Finally, the global release of Catalyx Black is here. This is a fast-paced multiplayer MOBA X shooter game in a top-down view. In this game, 2 teams of 10 players fight against each other in exciting online battles. Each player controls a hero with special abilities. The game features 5 different modes. 4 of them are PvP and 1 of them is PvE. Overall, this is a thrilling, action-packed, team-based game that features hundreds of weapons to equip and all kinds of armors. Graphics are pretty decent, and the cherry on the top, full controller support. Next up on the list we have ARIDA Backland's Awaken. This is a single-player adventure game with elements of survivals set in the Brazilian backlands during the 19th century. You will play as a young girl called ARIDA, and she lives in a village where nearly nothing is growing anymore. Your mission is to help ARIDA complete all her quests that she needs to do before she can leave the village and follow the other members to have a better life. Overall, this is a simple and a short story-based game with a great presentation and nostalgic art style. If you think we are done with Steam ported games, well, guess again. Number 3. DYSMANTLE. DYSMANTLE is a post-apocalyptic survival game with zombies passing around the world waiting to attack. Now, you might think this is just another top-down view build and craft survival game on the market, but it's actually way more interesting than that. First off, this game provides a huge variety of landscapes, forests, deserts, cities, and a big open-world map to explore. DYSMANTLE is an addictive, relaxing game with action-packed elements. If you enjoy crafted games with a touch of old-school arcade nostalgia, this one might settle the deal for you. Alright gamers, let's get our hands on some of the newest NetEase games. ZOZ Final Hour. So this is a third-person shooter game in the zombie apocalypse. You will travel to the city of San Jaeger to try and liberate the street from the zombies. These zombies will destroy anything on their path, so you must fight against them with a group of other players around the globe. And your only goal is to get the crystal and get out. Like the usual, NetEase games includes amazing 3D graphics and immersive gaming experience. So if you are looking for a new multiplayer zombie survival game to play, this one might be the one for you.
Spread.
Next up we have the one and only Diablo Immortal. Blizzard has finally decided to release its biggest game of the year, and honestly, despite all the memes, the game is actually pretty decent. Fans of Diablo and new players will embark on new adventures on a vast open world MMORPG. You will be able to explore the dark realm of Sanctuary as you clash with armies of demons, collect epic loot, and gain unimaginable powers, and so much more. Players can choose from 6 highly iconic and customizable classes to play with. Graphics looks absolutely top notch. No autoplay or auto combat BS, which is something I was really worried about. Controller support is available, which is something really nice, and the game is even playable on PC with crossplay feature.
This is Sanctuary.
Well, there you have it gamers, these are the newest Android and iOS games to play in June 2022. Like the usual, be sure to leave a like and join the family by clicking on the sub button so you don't miss out on such cool content in the future. But until then, this was your boy Plyzon and I'm signing out.
It's hard, I've been scarred from out fighting. Waking up, stomach is starved, I keep grinding. 6 AM, life isn't hard, I keep reciting. It feels like I might fall apart, I keep trying. Sun's coming up and the glare is so blinding. I'm sick of hearing and seeing all of the people whining. You want something good, then you better go put the time in.